All right, it's time to go over my top 10 tight ends for week 8. Pretty excited about to do this, and let's just get right into it. Here at number 10, we're going Hunter Henry, and this is a tight end that's really starting to come together. I think now that Drake May is the quarterback, he's looking for his safety blanket. I tell you guys all the time with rookie quarterbacks, they like to have their safety blanket, and that safety blanket a lot of time is the tight end position. This is Hunter Henry. He's getting a lot of targets and able to produce at a very high level for you for fantasy football. He's very high on my rankings preseason, right? Because I knew Drake May was going to come in here, and Hunter Henry's good. There's no talent at the wide receiver position right now that's up there that you need to say, hey, look, that is the guy for this offense. So what happens? Well, Hunter Henry, he's talented. So I knew he's going to be the number one option. That's why he had to be a top 10 tight end this week. This week, they're going against a Jets defense that ranks 9th against opposing tight ends. May seems to target Henry quite a bit. And I was telling y'all, he is the safety blanket for this offense. And if he keeps to mature, he keeps throwing touchdowns at the rate that he's throwing at, Hunter Henry could be really, a league winner at this point. If you don't have him, you need to go pick him up off of waivers if he's there. And if you can get him on the cheap, go grab yourself some Hunter Henry. He could be phenomenal. I like him for week 8. He's easily number 10 for me. Coming here at number 9, we're talking Cole Kmet. Now he's going into a matchup here with Caleb Williams against the Commanders, right? The Commanders defense, as of right now, ranks 12th against opposing tight ends. Everything points to a big day for Cole Kmet. I think the Washington Commanders are not a very good defense whatsoever. Cole Kmet's coming in here. He wants to kind of prove out. He was the number 1 pick in the draft. Jaden Daniels was the number 2 pick in the draft, right? So there's a good chance Jaden Daniels doesn't play with the rib injury. The Bears defense is pretty stout, and I don't think that the coaching staff is going to want to put Jaden Daniels in a situation where he's already number 1 versus number 2, and there's a good chance he can get smacked around and hurt even further, right? He is the future. They want to keep him safe. But either way it goes, Caleb Williams will be playing this football game and going against a Washington Commanders defense that isn't nearly as stout as the Bears defense. So Cole Kmet could be having a huge game this week. I like myself some Cole Kmet. I'll be having him everywhere in drafts. I like Cole Kmet as having a massive day, a big receptor for Caleb Williams against this Commanders defense that there's no way they're stopping this guy whatsoever. Easily top 10 for me. Move right along here at number 8. We're going Jake Ferguson. Now, he's another big part of this offense, right? It's Jake Ferguson and it's CeeDee Lamb. Those are the guys that you really have to worry about with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, they all had a bye week. They need to come out of this bye week and say, you know what? Let's get back to our roots. Let's throw it to our guys that can make plays for us. Jake Ferguson is one of those guys this week going against a 49ers defense that ranks 14th against opposing tight ends. He continues his consistency and volume. That's what we want. We want to see the consistency. That's going to continue to go even this week against the 49ers. It's always a classic between the Cowboys and the 49ers, going back and forth all the time. I think Dak Prescott, I think they're tired of all the BS. I actually think the Cowboys come in here and beat the 49ers, and a big part of that is Dak Prescott could have himself a 400-yard passing game, and a lot of that's going to be CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. Get Jake Ferguson into your lineup. I think he has a great week 8. Move right along here at number 7. We're going Tucker Kraft. This is a tight end again. He's very good. He's the best receiving tight end that they have. There's a lot of receiving options here, but I think Jordan Love's going to have such a massive game this week that Tucker Kraft is naturally going to have a good game himself this week, taking on a Jaguars defense that ranks 27th against opposing tight ends. Everyone eats against the Jaguars, and that means Tucker Kraft is also going to eat this week. I think that he gets plenty of opportunities from Jordan Love to make whatever he wants to do. Tucker Kraft has the ability to take himself a little bit of 5-10 yard hitch route, and he can make some moves, yards after the catch, and make some plays. He's a good athletic tight end that he's very high on my rankings. So easily top 10 for me. Love him for week 8. Get him into your lineup. So move right along here. Number 6, we're going to say David Njoku, right? So far, Watson is out. When Watson's out, that's when we always see David Njoku be the man. And we saw that last year with Joe Flacco. When Watson went out, Flacco came in, all of a sudden, league winner, David Njoku. Same thing happens. Jameis Winston will probably be the quarterback here. What's going to happen? David Njoku, going to be great. This week, taking on a Ravens defense that ranks 26th against opposing tight ends. No more Watson means fantasy gold. I'm telling you guys, David Njoku is a really good tight end. He hasn't been in my top 10 because Watson can't throw for anything. Now that they're going to have competent quarterback play and somebody who can sling the football down the field, David Njoku can show his true colors. He's a really good tight end, and he's going to prove that yet again. I like him for week 8. Get this guy into your lineups. Guys, coming in here at number 5, we're going Evan Ingram, right? He's a target monster, right? It is what it is. He's coming back from his injury. We saw how dominant he was in the first game back. Second game back, not as dominant, kind of held in check a little bit, but this week I think he'll be just fine. Taking on a Packers defense, ranks 23rd against opposing tight ends. He's still a leader in this offense, right? Doesn't matter what he did last game. This game, he can continue. And it wouldn't surprise me if he had 10 targets again this game. I mean, they're going to need him. I think Trevor Lawrence is more comfortable with Evan Ingram in this offense, and we're seeing Trevor Lawrence start to become a better quarterback this season. He was absolute cockadoodle without Evan Ingram. Ever since Evan Ingram's been back, you see Trevor Lawrence actually be competent. He's a competent quarterback right now. Evan Ingram's going to be a big reason for that. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities this week. I think he's going to be a great fantasy option here in week 8. Move right along here at number 5. We're going, we're going number 4, Trey McBride. Trey McBride is a tight end that he keeps getting better and better. And I think a big part of that is because Marvin Harrison Jr. just hasn't matured yet to be the dominant wide receiver that we all thought he would be. This week's taking on a Dolphins defense that ranks 3rd against opposing tight ends, always extremely involved into the offense. And even though they are 3rd against the tight end position, I still think he's going to be fine. He's going to have a good week just because of the volume he's going to receive anyway. Tua Tagovailoa could be on the other side as well. And if they really start blowing out the Cardinals, they're going to need to pass the ball quite a bit. And I think Trey McBride is going to be a big reason for that. Trey McBride's going to come in here and probably put up a really big stat line in a losing effort. That's just what I see in this game. It's going to happen. If Tua doesn't play, it could be a different story. We'll have to wait and see about that. But I do think Tua does play. I think it's going to be a negative game script. I think Trey McBride gets a lot of opportunities and could be great for you here in week 8. We move it right along here at number 3. We're going Brock Bowers, the rookie tight end that's absolutely getting targeted out of the wazoo. I love myself some Brock Bowers. This week, they're taking on a Chiefs defense that ranks 32nd against opposing tight ends. Was yet again a focal point for the Raiders. This is what they do. They like to look at Brock Bowers and say, hey, look, who do we have out there? It doesn't matter. Where's Brock Bowers? Let's throw him the football. I like it for fantasy football purposes. The Raiders kind of are cockadoodle and suck. But for Brock Bowers, it's becoming fantasy gold, right? Especially in a PPR league. Hello, come on. Love myself some Brock Bowers. I think here in week 8, he dominates once again. Solid option for you. Get yourself some Brock Bowers. Coming here at number 2, I'm saying Travis Kelce. At this point, you see Patrick Mahomes, even in a bad game, they're going to just try to force the football to Travis Kelce this week. I think this week could be a really nice week for him. There's a lot of injuries, right, that we have to play. There's still a good defense, and they're still winning the game when Patrick Mahomes goes out there and throws 2 interceptions. It's like 150 yards passing. They're still winning the game. Kareem Hunt's coming in there over 20 carries, dominating himself. The offense is still good. They're clicking. It's great. I think this week, though, could be a good Travis Kelce game. This week, they're taking on a Raiders defense, ranks 8th against opposing tight ends. Needs to be dominant for the Chiefs, right? He needs to be a dominant. He has to come in there and do something. He's got to. If not, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be absolutely in trouble. They got to do something, right? And I think that they're going to be able to do that. I think that overall, you're going to see Travis Kelce be the guy that we all know that he can be. I think that Travis Kelce is known to be a guy that he was just sucking early on. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, and that could be problemsome. So I think Travis Kelce overall comes into this game. I think Patrick Mahomes, he's not going to have a back-to-back bad game. It's not going to happen, right? It's gonna be a good game. I had to put him all the way up here at number 2 for me for week 8. That moves it right along here at number 1. We're saying George Kittle, right? I mean, he's what I used to always say, boom or bust type of tight end. But this week, he's just a consistent good tight end, right? It's less a boom or bust and more of just consistently good. And he keeps on ending up at the top end of the spectrum of these tight ends. And I think this week's going to be no difference. So this week they're taking on a Cowboys defense ranks 13th against opposing tight ends. This game is usually a classic. You know, kind of like I was mentioning earlier with Ferguson. When you have the 49ers and the Cowboys going back and forth, it's going to be good. Right? I think Jake Ferguson's going to have himself a good game. I think George Kittle's going to have himself a good game. Is Deebo Samuel going to be there? Brandon Ayuk's gone for the season. Ricky Pearsall, he's a rookie, right? Is Christian McCaffrey ever going to get back? I think George Kittle is the one caveat here that's going to be consistent for this team. I think he's going to be a lot of where Brock Purdy's going to be throwing the football to, and should have himself a nice week here in week 8. Guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That is our top 10 tight ends for week 10. Leave a comment down below. Is there anybody in the top 10 that I left out that you think should be in the top 10? I'm curious to see. Guys, we're pumping out these videos, right? Each and every week to help you set the best lineup possible, because I ultimately want you to win a championship. So make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Really helps out the channel, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.